You have been lied to your entire life. Every therapist, every self-help book, every well-meaning person who ever told you to count to 10, to breathe, to walk away, they were handing you a toy sword and sending you into a real war. And you have been losing that war your entire life. Not because you are weak, but because nobody ever showed you what anger actually is underneath the surface. Here is the truth that will rearrange everything. Anger is not an emotion. It is a transaction. Every single time you lost your temper, every argument, every moment your voice cracked and your hands shook, you are not expressing yourself. You are paying someone with your own nervous system. You are handing someone who does not even respect you the keys to your entire biology. And they drove it off a cliff while you stood there wondering what just happened. So let us start with what nobody ever asks. Why do you actually get angry? Not the surface answer, the real one. You get angry because somewhere deep in your subconscious, you believe their opinion of you has the power to alter your reality. That is the entire mechanism. You are not angry at them. You are afraid they might be right. And the moment you made their perception of you relevant to your sense of self, you gave them a weapon they did not even have to work for. In 1809, Napoleon Bonaparte cornered his foreign minister Talleyrand in front of the entire court. Napoleon screamed, insulted, threatened. He threw a complete theatrical tantrum in front of everyone who mattered. And Talleyrand stood there, completely still, total indifference. When Napoleon finally stormed out, breathless and red-faced, Talleyrand turned to the room and said quietly, "What a pity that so great a man should be so ill-bred." One sentence. And in that one sentence, he dismantled the most powerful man in the world. Because the most powerful man in the world had just performed for him, had just burned his own dignity trying to get a reaction from someone who refused to give him one. That is the first thing you have to understand. When someone provokes you, they are not attacking you. They are auditioning. They are desperately trying to pull a reaction out of you, because your reaction is the only thing that gives their behavior any meaning. The moment you react, you become the audience that validates the whole performance. You tell them they found the button. You tell them come back and press it again any time. Now here is the biology. Daniel Goleman's research describes what happens during provocation as an amygdala hijack. The primitive part of your brain fires before your rational mind even processes what is happening. Your logic, your strategy, your self-control, all of it gets overridden in a fraction of a second. You do not choose to get angry. Your brain chooses for you. And manipulators understand this. They poke you not because they hate you, but because they want to make you predictable. A predictable person is a controllable person. If they can map your reactions, they own your behavior. You become a machine running code they wrote. So how do you break the code? Viktor Frankl survived Auschwitz. He lost everything. And inside that, inside the most extreme conditions of human suffering ever documented, he discovered something no guard could take. Between the stimulus, the thing being done to you, and your response, there is a gap. And in that gap lives the only freedom that cannot be taken by force. Most people have no gap. The stimulus hits and the response fires instantly. You have to stretch that gap, and you do it by changing your role from participant to observer. When a doctor treats a patient who is vomiting, the doctor does not take it personally. The doctor looks at it as a symptom. When someone attacks you, they are doing the same thing. They are vomiting their shame, their insecurity, their broken psychology onto you. It is a symptom, and symptoms do not make you angry. They make you curious, and curiosity and anger cannot exist in the same mind at the same moment. Here is the piece that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. When someone belittles you, when they try to make you feel small, they are not talking about you. In psychoanalysis, this is called projective identification. When a person's internal world becomes so toxic, so filled with shame and self-loathing, that they can no longer contain it, they export it. They find someone stable, someone calm, someone who represents the peace they have never been able to achieve. And they attack, not to destroy you, but to transfer the feeling. If they can make you feel worthless, they get temporary relief from feeling worthless themselves. When you react, the upload is complete. You are carrying their psychological garbage. You did them a favor at the expense of your own nervous system.